Hi everybody.
Sunday evening and Satsang with John and Michelle. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, and I hope you've had a relaxing, restful weekend.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain here in Cape Town, which is such a blessing, after our droughts. We always rejoice no matter how much rain we have, and I'm sure by now our dams are getting pretty full up. But the garden is celebrating, the birds are celebrating, and the beautiful cloud formations that we're having at the moment is really, really beautiful. So we are so blessed.
Yeah,
And we're so blessed to be here with you tonight, to have this Sunday night satsang with you and to build up this community which is founded on love and connection. So we're very privileged to be your guides tonight. And tonight we're going to be looking at flow. We're going to be looking at how to live your life more in flow, how to actually align with the flow of life. There are many benefits to living your life in flow. Most people seem to have some resistance to life. People seem to carry around big fat no's to life, and those no's are like turning a tap off, and we wonder why things don't go well with us. So tonight we'll be looking at flow and how to open those taps and live more aligned with the intention of life than trying to paddle our boat upstream.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you a little bit of a heads up on what's happening astrologically, just a bit, because we're heading for a new moon on Wednesday. So thanks for joining us. We're seeing some familiar faces, so it's always lovely to see people coming back and new people joining us. It's a real pleasure and a privilege to spend this time with you.
There's a sympathetic resonance that gets built up in groups, and there's a lot of people who join us on a regular basis, and I really want to thank you for taking this hour to be with us on a Sunday night. I think it's really important for the group to have this core energy which we build up, but it's also important, I believe, for the earth at this time to have this light anchored on this planet at this time, and to share that light with the world, because although we think we have to go and give love and give light, we don't have to. We just become open and allow it to flow through us. And this time on a Sunday night, I think the more that we can connect in this way, the bigger the light becomes. And welcome to all the new people who haven't been here with us before. Welcome. We hope you enjoy the evening, and that this evening's hour with us opens your tap and allows flow into your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, John.
So let's start this evening the way we always start, which is really, really important, and that's to center ourselves. During the day we get caught up with the drama of life and the happening of life and the doing of life, and so it's nice to start a satsang by centering ourselves back into the present moment. The only place that is real, the only place that we can access life is in the present moment. So let's just do that. And one of the marvelous tools which we've been given to align with presence is the physical body. And I know there are some courses you can go on that'll teach you to leave your body and float around the top corner of the room, but this is not one of them. So most of our work is about finding the connection with life through the body, not away from the body. And the only thing that we really have to withdraw from when we want to align with life is the mind. We have to withdraw from our story. We have to withdraw from all our attachments to yesterday and all our projections in tomorrow, neither of which exist. I mean, in actuality, the only thing that's real is now. But it's very alluring for the mind. And so when we want to align with presence, what we do is we withdraw our mind from all other times, all other places, and just become centered in this moment. And as I mentioned, the body is always here. The body is always centered in the present moment. And so all we have to do is align our awareness, our attention with the body. So right now, just take your right hand or your left hand and take a look at it. And take a look at maybe all the crease and the lines that you have in there and any other marks that you have in your hand. And just examine it as if you're seeing your hand for the very first time. Just become aware of everything you can see in your hand right now. Is it incredible that we can actually lift our hand up? We don't know how to do that. There's an intelligence in the body that knows how to raise our hand when we have a wish or a command in our mind. There is an intelligence inside your hand that right now in this moment is orchestrating the metabolic processes of the millions of cells in your hand. Right now, see if you can perceive the aliveness in your hand. You might feel it as a tingling sensation, maybe as a warmth. Just right now, see if you can feel this aliveness. You may like to move your fingers slightly. And just focus your full attention on your hand. Not judging, not criticizing, just noticing it as a child would notice a new object. You're just noticing something brand new here. How incredible is this hand? Just imagine what life would be like if you didn't have this incredible thing called the hand. Just think of all the things that the hand can do, how it helps you in life. So right now, bring your sense of awareness into gratitude for this hand. Exactly as it is right now, just a sense of gratitude. Feeling, if you can, that life animates your hand. This incredible intelligence called life is in your hand right now, in this moment. Now gently close your eyes and keep your hand in your awareness. With your eyes closed, see if you can maybe connect with that feeling of aliveness in your hand, even more so than when your eyes were open. With your eyes closed, just become aware of what it's like to have a hand that's alive. Now bring your awareness into the other hand, maybe the left hand, at the same time. Keep your awareness in your right hand, but transfer some of your awareness also at the same moment into your left hand. And feel the aliveness in both your hands at the same time. Now gently move your hands so that your palms are facing each other, not touching, a little bit apart. So that the palms are facing each other, and just move them maybe slightly in and out, just slightly, and see if you can pick up a resistance of energy, like a ball of energy between your hands. See if you can pick up that energy. It's called chi. Move your hands gently in and out just slightly and see if you can pick up that place of resistance, as if you are holding a ball between your hands. An energy ball, a chi ball. It's quite incredible when you feel that energy. Now bring your palms out of that position, gently relax them. You might want to put them onto your lap. And just bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. Bring your awareness to the breath as it enters your nose. Without this breath, you wouldn't have a body. You wouldn't have this aliveness in each cell in your body. So for a moment, just bring your gratitude into that breath that you're taking right now. The in-breath, the pause, and then that relaxing, releasing, surrendering out breath. At the same time, keep a level of your awareness in your hands. So you now have the left hand, the right hand, and the tip of your nose in your awareness, following the breath. the gentle in-breath, the pause, and the long, relaxing, surrendering, releasing out-breath. You might make the in-breath through your nose and the out-breath through your mouth, that's fine. And if you breathe out through your mouth, you might want to sigh it out. Let's become aware of this lovely rhythm of the breath, that in-breath, filling your lungs all the way up, and then that beautiful, long, releasing out-breath. Now let's bring a bit of conscious control to that breath. As we bring the in-breath in, we lower our diaphragm by pushing our belly button all the way out. So we're drawing the air right the way down to the base of the lungs, pushing our belly button out. So our stomach comes like a big ball. And then that lovely, beautiful, relaxing out-breath, and relax your shoulders and your neck muscles. Just release any tension there. Just take another deep breath in, blowing the tummy up like a big ball, breathing right down below your diaphragm. And then that beautiful, long, releasing, relaxing out-breath, and just smooth out any worry lines on your forehead. Relax your eyelids. And one lovely, long in-breath, right down to your toes this time. And then that beautiful, lovely, wonderful, releasing, surrendering out-breath. Just let it go, let it go, let it go. And now allow life to breathe you once again with its gentle rhythm of flow. That beautiful in-breath, the pause, and then that lovely releasing out-breath. This intelligence called life, it breathes you. It beats your heart. It digests your food. It takes the oxygen from your lungs and gets it transported to every single one of your cells in your body. Every minute, this process is taking place. It bathes every cell in nutriments, and then is responsible for carrying away the debris or the used oxygen. Anything that no longer serves the cell is taken out again to be expelled by the body. And this intelligence called life does this every moment of every day that you have a body. And you don't have to give it much conscious focus. It does it all by itself. So for a moment, just become aware with gratitude of this incredible gift called life that is beating your heart right now, that is digesting your food right now, that is breathing you right now. And this energy of life doesn't only inhabit every cell in your body, but it also surrounds you, and you are able to feel that energy maybe in that chi ball that we did at the beginning. That energy is a very real energy, it surrounds your body. And this energy doesn't only occupy the space around your body, but occupies the space around everyone's body. And the energy around you is connected intimately and intelligently with every other life form. Every leaf on every tree, every blade of grass, every bird is connected to your life form. There are many scientific experiments to show this connection. All life is connected. And in fact, even that which does not appear to be alive, like a rock or a grain of sand, it has a level of life in it. It keeps the molecules together. If it didn't, they would all have dissipated long time ago. And that life in even a solid quartz or piece of granite is connected to you as well. Every star, every planet, every sun is connected to the life that's in your body right now, that's breathing you, And all we have to do to gain access to this incredible intelligence called life is surrender. Through surrender, we open ourselves up to that quiet voice of intuition. We balance the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. We become open. We become more at peace, more at ease, more blissful, more loving, more quiet, more wise. Now take a deep, deep in-breath, filling your tummy up like a big ball, bigger, 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 right up to your shoulders, to the top of your head and to the tips of your toes. And then a beautiful, long, releasing, relaxing sigh out. And gently, when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, just become aware of how you feel in this moment. It's the awareness of how the body feels that is one of the anchors of presence. So become aware of how your body feels right now. How do you feel?
More centered, thank you, John.
More centered,
lovely.
Relaxed.
More alive.
We love your comments. So if you want to tell us right now how you're feeling, we would appreciate those comments. It's really nice. Lovely. Thank you for being here. We see quite a few more joined us when our eyes were closed. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the Sunday night Satsang with John and Michelle.
Good to have you here. Shall I kick off with a little bit of energetic update? So we are headed towards a new moon on Wednesday, early hours of the morning on Wednesday morning in Leo, which is what we call a fixed fire sign. And it's really very connected with what John's just taken us through, because it's that life force energy, that sort of that spark of the divine that lives within us is really highlighted at this time of the year, where we get into flow with who we really are at our core, at our essence, our core essence. Leo is a sign that's ruled by the sun, and the sun and Leo are connected with the heart. So this is really a time, so new moons just energetically are always a time where we plant new seeds for the month ahead, for the next lunar month. And this one's no exception. It's a really powerful one. I always say that, but this is a powerful one because of the alignment that it's making with us with some other planetary energies, which I won't go into too much detail on. Suffice to say that this is a very good time. So between now and new moon on Wednesday, it's just to take a little bit of time and connect with what your intentions are for the next few weeks, the next month. There's a little bit more to it than that. At the moment we have the planet Mars, which is the warrior planet, and he's in a square to the group of planets that I've been going on about all year, which is Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter, particularly Saturn and Pluto, and Mars is squaring them. So Pluto and Saturn right now are very connected with the establishment, the laws, the rules, everything that we've been experiencing during the last 4 or 5 months. And Mars, the warrior planet, is in Aries, which is about going out there and exerting your independent feelings and kind of going out there with a sword, to get things right and to put things in order. So I think with that energy, a lot of people are kind of feeling it's quite sticky, quite tricky. It's me against you. It can be like that. It can be quite a lot of conflict. In addition to that, we've got the planet Uranus, which has just gone retrograde, joined the rest of the planets retrograde, and Uranus is the planet of change. He's also known as the Great Awakener, and he will be retrograde until January. So during this time, he'll be retrograde in the sign of Taurus, which is about our value systems, our money systems, our sense of security, our sense of safety, He's connected, Taurus is connected with the body. So I think over the next few months we're going to see quite a lot more change, and quite a lot more awakening, because he's the conscious awakener. Uranus is the energy of booting us out of our comfort zones, and most of us have been already booted out of our comfort zones over the last few months, but it's going to be more so, and continuing that theme in the next months to come. There'll be more fighting against the norms, especially of the big establishments, and challenging us on a deeper level to really awaken. And I see this as, because it's lining up very closely with this new moon, I see this as a real opportunity to really awaken that life force within us, that heart-based life force. And that's what this tonight's satsang's about, is getting into flow with that life force that animates us. So it's there all the time, but we sometimes forget it. So to be more conscious of it, because that's what gets us through all the challenges that we have facing us now, and challenges that we might have facing us in the future. So it's a little bit of an update there. And just to remember that, as John sort of took us through so beautifully there, that life force is who we are. It's never gone anywhere. It can never go anywhere, because it's our essence. And this new moon is about that, connecting with that essence. And the other little thing I wanted to say is there's a lot of fire and a lot of earth around. A lot of fire energy, a lot of earth energy. And those are passionate, those are powerful energies. But think about fire and earth together. If there's not enough nourishment, what do you get? Baked earth. You get burnt earth. You get burnout. You get trying too hard to run against the flow to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So what the energy now needs for the next month is more water, because water obviously nourishes earth, and it kind of controls fire to a degree, keeps things going, but it gives us a more friendly environment to actually grow those seeds. So water would be anything connected with anything which takes you into flow, which we're going to talk about now. Creativity, meditation, bathing. Instead of zipping in and out of the shower in 1 second, if you can have a bath every now and then, if you can walk next to a water source, drink more water, connect with your breath and bring yourself into present moment, that it initiates that nurturing, nourishing element of water, connecting with what you're feeling. If you need to have a good cry, that's fine. That's water. So just become a little bit more aware of water especially in the next week. If you're feeling dry and you're feeling uninspired and you're feeling not creative and tired, a little bit burnt out, just give yourself the nourishment that you need to actually continue going, but maybe at a slower pace. I think we will be encouraged to slow down a bit, rest more.
Good, because it's interesting, because the people who visit you for an astrological reading, they come to find out about the flow of life, don't they?
Yeah.
So just by looking at your birth chart, looking at the planets and the stars and where they were, you can see that there's a particular flow to your life. So we know these things. I mean, astrology has been used for thousands of years. And the reason it's useful is because it indicates a certain flow in our lives, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, astrology really, the way I see it, is the study of energy.
And the flows
it's all
of
about
energy.
the elements. It's got the 4 elements, and then obviously the thing that connects them all, which is ether. But it's specifically connected with the 4 elements and how we interact with those. And at any one moment, the elements might be out of balance. We might have a little bit of an imbalance in our natal chart, which we then work with consistently. But then when these things are happening, it creates a sort of it's an energetic balance or imbalance, which we can then, knowing that, we can feel into that and say, let's see what we can do to just bring the balance back. So it's one of the things that I concentrate a lot on in readings, because everyone can connect with the elements. You know, if you're feeling very dry and very burnt out, you can kind of make sense of that. What is that? You know, if you're feeling very waterlogged and melancholic and you can't get out of bed, then your water might be too high. You might need to get out into the sunshine and burn some of it off and warm yourself up. So it's quite an interesting thing to do on a daily basis when you wake up, to see, just to run through your elements, you know. Air, if air is very high, then you might feel very, very, very head-based, lots of thoughts going around zzz, all over the place. So what do you do to calm that down? Again, water will calm air down. You know, getting out in nature will actually start to calm that down. So...
Well, we've had a lot of water this last weekend in Cape Town, a lot of water here, so hopefully that's in alignment with the flow of life.
Yeah, definitely.
It is, yes, yeah. So there are times in our lives where we feel in flow with life, and there are times when we feel blocked. One of the times when we generally feel in flow, which I'm sure all of you have experienced, that is when you're in love. When you're in love, you know, the world seems to be a lot more friendly. Doors seem to open, people are, you know, more polite, more helpful when you're in love, and, you know, rose-colored glasses, you know, and all that. Everything seems to work out your way when you're in love. And let me tell you, the world hasn't changed. What's changed is your alignment with the world. Because when you're in love, where are you? Are you focused in, you know, 10 years ago? Are you focused in 10 years to come? Or are you more focused in the present moment? And I'm going to suggest that when you're in love, you're actually more aligned with life. And when you're aligned with life, you become more alive. You become more aware of what really is going on around you. You become more intelligent, they say, when you're in love. You become healthier when you're in love. So those are all the benefits of being aligned with life. And that is what flow is. Flow is just being aligned with the isness of this moment, fully with this moment. And it is a natural state. It's a natural state. Animals are in flow. They tend intuitively to go where they must go without any, you know, mental baggage and without any questioning. They tend to all move in a certain direction, and that's because they're in alignment with this greater will called life. And we have, as humans, we have the incredible ability to make what isn't more important than what is. So we tend to have a story going on in our head, which actually isn't, but we make that story more important than life. And we tend to get out of kilter with life. We tend to resist life. We tend to say no to life. I want to go left. Meanwhile, life is trying to pull you right, but you're disconnected from that because your egoic will is wanting to go left. And the secret of being in flow is to become quiet enough to listen. Being quiet enough to listen to this instinctual and intuitive voice inside us all that is there to guide us and pull us along. And a couple of the things that we can do to align with life is to let go of this resistance. And one of the words that we use for letting go is the word forgiveness. Forgiveness is cornerstone to entering the state of flow. What blocks flow is this anxiety and this holding on and this resentment and the guilt. That blocks flow. Only by releasing that do we align with life. So forgiveness is the first key I want to share with you tonight. Forgiveness. Forgiveness actually means giving love. Forgiving love. How about that? And non-forgiveness blocks that giving of love.
Yeah, and it's, you know, if you imagine that we are in the flow, and this flow is coming in all the time, it's just flowing in. And when we're in resistance, we are blocking that flow. We literally, when we resist, we close. We tend to do this when we resist. We tend to do this with our fists. We harden our bodies and we close. And as soon as we close, we are resisting the flow of life. When we open, we're actually allowing the flow to actually flow through us. So it's just a very simple thing to remember, is resisting is closing and flowing is opening. So you open, it's like you're opening a tap, a universal tap. And it also works with abundance. If you're in flow and if you're open to the flow, you find that abundance flows through you. And very often when you're very, very strongly sort of got your hands on the steering wheel and desperately trying to control things, things don't go that well. Because what's happening is in that process, you're resisting the flow. You're resisting abundance. You're resisting everything. So nothing can flow. So very often, like John and I both experience, where you go away for a few days or go away for a few weeks, and you come back and magically money's flowed into your account, and you've got work that you never anticipated because you were in a state of flow, and that flow could just flow through you.
Yeah.
You weren't sitting there blocking the flow.
Yeah. So the word to cover that is the word allow.
Yeah.
If you think of this, you have an ocean of intelligence, an ocean of abundance above you. And you're a tap. Now, what does a tap have to do to allow water to flow through it? It's got to open. So the word allowing is a very nice way of undoing that tap, of allowing that flow of life through you. Instead of resistance, go into a state of allowing. Allow life to be as it is. You can always choose to move in a different direction, but this moment is already here. So you might as well accept that this moment is here and allow life to be. Allow others to be as they are. Allowing and accepting are the keys to love. And if love is the alignment of yourself with life, then allowing and accepting are the keys that will do that. And I believe one of the belief patterns we need to shift is the belief pattern that we are separate from everything and that we are vulnerable like a cork bobbing on an ocean. And that is not true. You are an integrative part of the cosmos, which is what astrology teaches us. And right in the opening meditation, we could feel that maybe that connection with the world around us. And when we start to trust that connection, when we start to trust life, we can be more open. We can be more allowing. We can be more surrendered when we are in a place of trust. Now, don't ask your mind to trust. Your mind sees itself as insular and separate from the rest. Your mind lives in a matrix of what's called false evidence appearing real, which is the acronym for fear. It sees itself as a vulnerable, finite entity in time and space. It has to struggle and fight life for its very existence. And that always gets us into trouble because that shuts the door on the flow of life. So the opposite of that is that openness, which Michelle mentioned. That is that love. That is that trusting that life will guide you. It always has guided you, and it always will guide you. So it's that trust which opens the tap further and allows life to flow through us, unimpeded by this resistant, judgmental, fearful, anxious mind of ours. It's a case of making the mind your servant. And as you make the mind your servant, so your tap opens. You become more relaxed, more chilled, more intelligent. How about that? Healthier. There's another benefit. Yeah, you look younger when you're more relaxed, when you're more chilled, when you're more aligned with life. It's we know from a medical point of view that stress is the underlying cause probably of 80% of all disease. And stress comes from not trusting life, resisting life.
Yeah.
Closing down.
Hardening, becoming
yeah.
rigid.
And there are a few physical things that we can do that really align us with life. And one of them is dance, right? Movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, movement to music.
Moving around, shaking it out, shaking is a really powerful thing to do to get energy moving through your body. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling the stuck energy, just shake a bit or bounce up and down or put some music on and just dance it out. So moving your body is really important to get into flow. That's one of the most beautiful ways. Music is, for me, music's the quickest way to get into flow. Yeah, so if I'm out of flow and I put the right kind of music on, I'll go into flow very quickly. And there's so much available now. Some really, really good high quality, high vibration music. So just in the morning, just put a beautiful piece of music on. Throughout the day, put a piece of music on. So music, and then of course creativity for me, and for some of you who may do creative stuff, whatever that is. It's not about the outcome. But what creativity does is it starts to quieten the mind, and it just starts to bring you into that place of flow. Unless you're very outward oriented in terms of your creativity and you want it to look exactly like that, and if it doesn't look exactly like that, you get all stressed, then it's not that creative, not that opening and flowing. But if you're able to just flow with creativity, you can get a piece of clay and just play with a piece of clay for no other reason other than it's nice to hold a piece of clay in your hand, as opposed to trying to create something which somebody might like or might not like, or that you might be able to hang on your wall or not. So that's a very, very quick way of getting into flow.
And all of that is really about becoming present. And that's really the key to opening to flow, is presence. Dancing, what does it do? It brings you into the present moment. Most people treat life as if it's a race to get somewhere. You're going to achieve a lot, and maybe there's a winning post over there and you get a medal at the end or something. I don't know, because an awful lot of people seem to be in a rush to get somewhere, to tomorrow. It's always about tomorrow. But when you're dancing, it's not about tomorrow. It's about this moment. It's about the step that you're taking now. It's the enjoyment of just this step that you're taking in this moment. And when we start to live our lives as if it was a dance instead of a race, I believe we open far more to flow. We have a greater sense of achievement. We have a greater sense of peace, of love, of connection, of joy. That all comes from treating life as a dance and just bring your focus into what you are doing now. Yes, you can have a goal. Yeah, it's good to have goals. It's good to have goals that inspire you. But don't make the goal your God. Don't make your happiness depend upon reaching that goal. Make your happiness in this moment, right here, right now. When you fully immerse your awareness in what you are doing right now, you can find happiness, you can find peace, you can find joy right now in this moment, because it's always here. It's not at some future time when you've achieved X, Y, Z. Not there. The dance is about aligning your full attention with just this step that you're taking now. Same way with art. It's this brush stroke, if you're painting, that you're taking now. It's more important than the end result of the painting.
And it changes the whole creative process, because you're just focusing on that stroke or that little pen line if you're doodling something. It's just that, and then that leads to the next thing and to the next thing. And that's a metaphor for life, because if you live your life like that, especially when life is throwing us curved balls the way it's been throwing us this year, a lot of us find ourselves in resistance. I don't want to do that. This shouldn't be like this. It should be like that. And as soon as we do that, we can feel the resistance in our bodies. You can feel it immediately when you go into resistance. So I think it's this, what should we call it, challenge that we have been facing, is you can either really fight against it and say it shouldn't be happening and be in resistance all the time and make yourself sicker and reduce your immune system even more, or you can say this is happening, and right now in this moment, this is what I'm doing. This is where I am right now. In this moment, I can look at this person because this person is the most important person, because this person is right in front of me. And that might be you looking at yourself in the mirror. Or this thing that I'm doing, whether it's washing the dishes or hanging up the washing, that's what the most important thing to do is right now. And that brings you into now and out of the future, which is what you're resisting. Because the resistance is what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next month. And in that moment, your body closes and your system closes and you block that flow.
And the opposite of resistance is what? It's surrender. Yeah, it's opening.
It is.
So I have a quote here that says, surrender is a state of living in the flow, trusting what is, and being open to serendipity and surprises. And that's from a teacher called Judith Orloff.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Beautiful. Surrender is a state of living in the flow, trusting what is, being open to serendipity and surprises. Judith Orloff, beautiful quote that. And I believe that the more, if we want to really survive all the changes that we're going through at the moment, resistance, not a good idea. Resistance is born out of fear. And the antidote to the evilness that's being perpetrated in the moment on the world is actually love. Love is the antidote, because evil is just the consciousness without love. And so all we do is we bring love into the world, more love into the world, more light into the world. And the more love and light that we can radiate in our own awareness, in our own lives, will ignite the love and the light in others. And that will ripple out more and more into the world. I said earlier about trusting life. So I'm going to say to you, even with all the challenges that we're facing with individually and collectively at this moment, trust that there is a beautiful outcome. Trust that there is a plan. Trust that even the darkness is perfect. For the darkness is that which clears a lot of the debris so that the dawn can come, so that the light can come. It gives us that contrast that we can work with. Because when it's dark, we find the darkness also inside ourselves. And when we find it in ourselves, we can bring the light of acceptance there, the light of allowing, and we can actually love it to death in ourselves. There is no out there. All out there is a mirror of what's going on inside us. And if we see something out there that we do not like, find it inside ourselves, accept it, embrace it, and love it to death. Bring the light of awareness into your darkness within you. That's the journey we're doing this year. It's a journey of really looking at the deep, dark, hidden stuff inside ourselves and bringing it to the light. I know that we're now allowed to smoke and drink again, but we've had quite a period of being deprived of some of our addictions, and that's brought up a lot of uncomfortableness in people. Well, look at the uncomfortableness. Don't go and medicate it away now. Once again, we've got a tremendous opportunity here now to be with the uncomfortableness, to be with that feeling of unease that we normally medicate away with nicotine and alcohol. Just be with that. Find that. All we do is we find it, we allow it to be there, that feeling. And within a few moments, that feeling dissipates. It doesn't take a long time to clear the darkness. When you put on the light in a dark room, you don't have to sit and wait for the light to clear out the darkness. As you put on the light, so the darkness disappears. As you focus on the dark recesses of your own unconsciousness, as you bring the light of your attention to those areas, they dissipate. And they turn out to, those terrible fears that we have, when we put our attention on them, they dissipate like phantoms. They are phantoms. And as soon as you bring the light to a phantom, it's not there anymore. So that's the opportunity which we have this year. It's not to buy into the fear. You are perfect, you are beautiful, you're wonderful, and you always are looked after. Don't buy into the fear of separation. Come home to love. Love is about connection. It's about reality. And love is life. And the more we are aligned with life, the more in flow we are, the more provided we are, the more protected we are, the more aligned with life.
Yeah, and I would say that this next new moon is about setting the intention of that. How can I be a more loving being? How can I shine my light in a way which influences and radiates out to the whole, to the collective? And that comes from here. So if I can't love myself, then I cannot shine my light out and my love out to anyone else. So it has to start here. And that's irrespective of what might be happening for us. So we might have had the light shone in some dark corners of ourselves that we don't particularly like very much. I didn't realize I still had that button, or there's this thing that's just arisen which I thought I'd dealt with. If you can love that as well, love it as perfection, and say, yes, I love myself with that as well. Because then you're actually radiating that out. And that is what the world needs. So I believe that these little groups that we have, they're essential, because that's our responsibility. This group of planets in Capricorn, apart from just it feeling like it's giving us a hard time, is teaching us how to be responsible. How to be responsible. How can we be responsible for our responses? That's what responsibility means.
Yeah, the ability to respond with consciousness.
With consciousness.
Yeah.
So how can I respond with consciousness more? And what can I do to facilitate that? Does it mean that I need to slow down and be quiet before I react? Or does it mean that I need to spend more time in quiet time? Or does it mean I need to nurture myself more? What does it mean for me to actually be that loving force in the universe? Because that's very powerful. You know, if each one of us, and there's 40, 50 people with us, if each one of us shine that out and set that as a very strong intention, it changes things. It really does change things. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that just when you go out in the morning, if you're in a bad mood, you have a bad day. If you're in a good mood, things flow. People chat to you, people are friendly, it works better because you're exuding that. So that's my sort of feel for the next month, is just asking ourselves how we can actually plant those seeds of self-love and of self-acceptance, and then shine that out for the month.
Yeah. And this year is a very important year, and I think the choices we get to make now are going to ripple out into our future experiences. And if you just remember moment to moment that the only basic choice you're getting to make in any moment is between fear and love. And fear wants you to separate yourself out and invest your salvation in some future time. That's what fear does. Love says, no, there is no separation. There is only connection. And it's about living your life aligned with this moment here and now. Yes, as I said, you can have future goals. It's great to have goals that you can work to enthusiastically. But you live your life here in this moment, aligned with life in this moment. So just remember, the choice in every moment is between false evidence appearing real, which is what the media gives you, or love. Love is what your heart gives you. Love is this real sense of connection, of connection. And this year, I said we're going through a time, I don't limit it to this year. I think we're probably going through quite a few years of what's called the apocalypse. The apocalypse is the coming down of the veil. It's for that which is hidden to be revealed. And so, yes, there is a lot of darkness. Michelle mentioned, the darkness that's in the recesses of our soul, of our subconscious mind, and we need to embrace it and accept it and bring it into the light. And the same with society. There's more and more of what has been hidden coming into our awareness as far as the depth of depravity in the world and the evilness in the world, and that's fine. We just accept it, bring it into the light, and bring forgiveness, which is the opening key which I gave you to an opening to flow, is bring forgiveness. Forgiveness is the doorway into love, allowing love. So forgive even those that one would want to hate in the old way of the world, the leaders who have misled us. Love them. They if you can think of them as mentally ill. There is a disease, and I can't remember the name of it now, that the Native Americans give to people who take more than they need. It is a disease. It is a disease. And love is the healing balm for that disease. If you send them hate and resistance and anger, you actually feed the disease. But when you send them love, that is the light that heals the disease. And that disease is within all of us. We project it out onto other people. But where in ourselves do we cover that? Do we carry that? So now is the time, this year particularly, is a year of awakening to love, to connection. As much as the world wants to divide us, but that's beautiful, because now we're getting this lovely contrast. The world wants us to wear masks and to separate and disconnect, and we can choose something different. We can choose something different. And that, I believe that choice is a very important choice to be made at this time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I think Michelle's going to take us into a lovely meditation which will open up the flow. And at the end of the meditation, we're going to give you a lovely affirmation which will help you this week maybe align with the flow of life. We don't know what affirmation does yet, because we've got a big pack of cards here. And there must be about 60 cards in this pack here, or 70. And let's just see what card we pick out at the end of the meditation. But whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to lead us greater into flow for the coming week.
Okay.
So thank you, yes.
Good. Okay, so get comfy and nestle yourselves in. Take a nice, deep, beautiful, restful breath in. Fill up your lungs. And then blow that breath out through your mouth like you were blowing it through a straw. And another deep belly breath in. This time blow up your belly all the way out. And then bring that breath all the way up into your chest. And then breathe it out. And a third deep breath in. And on the out breath, just soften your body. Just drop into this moment right now. Just connecting with your breath, not forcing it, not trying to make it anything that it isn't. Just allowing it to be exactly the way it is. With each out breath, just soften your body a little bit more, relax your body. I'd like you now to imagine a golden orb above your head, a beautiful, big, brilliant, golden orb of light. Now imagine that golden orb of light pouring down golden sparkles all the way through, in through the top of your head. Let those golden sparkles fill up your head. Let them spiral in around your head, clearing out any cobwebs, clearing out any tension. And as they do that, just soften your whole face. Soften those little muscles around your eyes and the little muscles around your nose and your mouth. Unclench your jaw. Just allow your head to rest softly. Then let those golden sparkles flow down in through your neck, relaxing your neck consciously as you allow them to flow through. And let that golden flow now flow into your shoulders. Drop those shoulders even more. Soften them, relax them. Let these golden sparkles, this beautiful golden flow down through your arms into your hands. And just notice it as it lands in your hands. Notice any sensations you feel. And let your hands just be open, resting gently. Let this golden flow now continue to flow down through your torso, all the way through your organs, tissues, muscles, into your blood, all the way down your spine. You can imagine it spiraling in and out of your vertebrae. These golden sparkles clearing out, purifying, flowing through you. This golden flow into your hips, down into your thighs, into your knees. Let them spiral around and just soften your knees, creating flexibility. And then down into your shins, into your ankles and into your feet. And on down through your feet and into the earth. You can imagine yourself standing in the middle of this beautiful golden flow of energy, flowing in from above, flowing all the way through you, down through the bottoms of your feet. Beautiful, warming, brilliantly golden, alive energy. See if you can feel your body ignited by this energy as it just continues to flow through you. And as you relax more, you can put your shoulders back a little bit and let it flow even more. Open to it, as if you were a tap opening. So that there's no resistance whatsoever in your body. There's just openness. Total surrender to this beautiful, loving, generous, warm energy. If your mind wanders, just bring yourself back to this beautiful flow in this moment. Just feeling the sensations that are moving through your body, flowing through your body, releasing whatever you don't need out through the bottoms of your feet. Standing in the middle of the flow. Sense the peace. Feel what it feels like to be completely surrendered in this moment. Connect with the feelings that you feel, the energy that you feel pulsing through your body. Now take some of that light, a few of those sparks of light, and place them in your heart. And ask yourself, how can I be a conduit of this life force energy? How can I radiate more light, more love, more warmth into the world? Invite an answer. You don't have to find the answer. Just ask the question. And set an intention of being open to the answer over the next few days. How can I love more? How can I love myself more? How can I open more to the flow of the life force that's within me already? And then gently bringing your attention back to your breath, to that lovely life force, keeps you alive, continuously flows into you, second by second. Take a beautiful deep breath in. And a releasing breath out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
Good.
Lovely way to end the weekend, isn't it? Take this energy into a new week. That's beautiful. Yeah. So let's choose an affirmation card for the week from this pack here. Michelle, do you want to choose one? It's a yellow one.
Ah, that's a good one. Okay, it says, I am no longer caught up in the drama of life. I choose inner stillness.
I'm no longer caught up in the drama of life. I choose inner stillness. It's a beautiful card to take with us, an affirmation, just to repeat it over and over again. I'll take a photograph and put it up on the Facebook page. And I want to just remind you, if any of you want to join a program which we're running at the moment, we just in the foundation week, the first week at the moment, we've got 12 weeks ahead of us, and we're still taking on a few more people. So if you want to join us, go to journeysofawakening.com and have a look. If you really want to enter the flow of life, join us for this 12-week journey that we have ahead of ourselves. That's journeysofawakening.com.
We've got
Thank
a beautiful group forming. It's well formed. It's
formed,
amazing.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Thanks.
And thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really enjoyed your company, for being with us. And the only real work that you have to do is shine. Shine your unique light into the world with a greater surrenderedness and a greater sense of allowing life to be as it is. Thank you and bless you.
Thanks,
and we look forward to seeing you. Well, those of you who are joining us for the course, we'll see you tomorrow night on the Zoom meetup. And everyone's welcome to come on that. You just have to register on our website and you can all join that. Tomorrow night, the Zoom meetup at 7 o'clock. And otherwise, we'll see you next Sunday for Sunday night Satsang with John and Michelle. Thank you. Bless
Thanks,
you.
John.
Nighty night. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.